Okay, let me say a very pleasant morning to everyone. I wish to recognize the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Ruben Skerrit, the Honorable Minister for the Environment, Disaster Management, Climate Resilience and Urban Renewal, Honorable Joseph Isaac, the Honorable Minister for Public Works and Ports, the Honorable Dr. Colin McIntyre. Of course, we need to be reminded that one of the primary functions of disaster management is that of saving lives, and to some extent property. And that is why, from a NIPO standpoint, through the subcommittee, has been vigorously pursuing the possibility and mechanism to ensure that our people are safe in these times. Of course, mindful of the challenges post-Hurricane Maria. I'm very much pleased, notwithstanding all of the challenges, I'm very much pleased this morning to announce to you that 108 emergency shelters have been identified to serve the general public. I need to also remind you that the revised list of emergency shelters have been given to the radio stations and other media outlets so that they can keep the listeners informed as to the shelters available to serve the general public. I shall need to inform you that we will be posting the list of emergency shelters on the government website, so persons can in fact go to the government website so that they can in fact see the various shelters that are available for the pending Tropical Storm Isaac. It's important that we recognize persons who often make their contribution in some way, shape or form. And on behalf of the National Emergency Planning Organization, NIPO, and of course the Shelter Committee, we wish to sincerely thank the many private home owners who have of course committed their homes to be used as emergency shelters. And I really want, without fear of contradiction, to really applaud the homeowners, particularly in the southeastern district, Grand Fond, River Sirik, Monjon, and Grand Fond, Monjon, River Sirik, and Dominica. In fact, we're very much pleased that they were willing to offer their homes to, of course, cater for the needs of persons in that area. And of course, the other areas in Dominica, because of course, several personal homes had to be used because we developed what we call a neighborhood approach. And what we mean by neighborhood approach is people helping each other, taking in their neighbors if they feel that their homes are safe. And for that, we have certainly recognized the contribution that they've made in helping in the process of keeping our people safe. And for that, their contribution will never go unnoticed. And for this, NIPO is forever grateful for the efforts. I need to sound the call, however, to the general public. We seem to have a trend in Dominica that we have late minute. So people often come to the shelter late minute. We want to advise, and of course, need to say as well, that we have put our shelter, all the shelter managers and assistant managers have been put on alert. And I need to tell you that hopefully this afternoon I will be making an announcement, of course, providing that once I get instructions for the shelters to be open, we'll hopefully make that announcement. So I'm asking, of course, we have already put them on alert and we're asking them to continue to listen to the radio. And of course, I will be hopefully this afternoon making an announcement for the time for the shelters to be opened. We want to encourage people to go to the shelters as early as possible. As soon as the announcement is made that the shelters are open, we want to encourage persons within 30 minutes, people to get to the shelters. Oftentimes people come to the shelters at late minute and that creates a lot of chaos and confusion in the shelters. So we're advising people, as soon as the announcement is made, once you know where a shelter is, in fact, people should have already known because I was on the radio last night on DBS, of course, that was also on Vibes Radio and Kyrie FM. And in fact, we were talking of the shelter. So people, in fact, should by now be made aware of the shelters that are available. So we're saying that once you've made that determination that where you are is not safe and you need to be sheltered, you know your shelter, please don't waste time. Just go to the shelters. And when you go to the shelters, do not go, as we call it in local parlance, with your hands swinging. We want people to at least come with some water for at least 24 to 48 hours. Come with some dry food, biscuit or canned food or something of that nature. We want, importantly, for you to secure your documents. You know, oftentimes, you know, it's raining and that sort of thing. You have to secure documents, particularly for persons who are under prescribed medication. Don't forget, you have to bring in your medication, take in your medication. That is important. We also want to encourage the general public to help us. We will be very strict in terms of information, because we will be registering every single individual who comes to the shelter. And there may be some questions that you may ask. We're asking, we are appealing to you to please answer those questions, because it's important. We need to know, we need to account for every Dominican in every shelter, and that is critical. So we are appealing to you to, of course, importantly, answer some of those questions that will be asked of you, so that we can have a database on every single family, every single person who in fact would require to be sheltered and who are in the shelters. Importantly as well too, is that we are going to be very strict based on, and there's always lessons learned, and there are lessons that were learned in Hurricane Maria. So we're going to be very strict in terms of shelter rules. We are going to be very strict. We are saying that absolutely no weapons, dangerous weapons will be allowed. We're talking of knives, ice picks, guns, scissors, machete, cutlasses. None of those things will be allowed in the shelters. Absolutely no pets. You have to secure your pets before. No pets will be allowed in the shelters. We are saying absolutely no alcohol. Absolutely no alcohol beverage not on the compound of the shelter. We are telling people, I mean, we should understand we have a responsibility. Oftentimes people become intoxicated, but we are saying as well that we are not going to allow any alcoholic beverages to be served or in the compound of the shelters. We are appealing to the general public. Absolutely no smoking, not cigarette. No, absolutely no smoking will be done at the shelters, because we have to understand we have persons of different background, of different health risks. And so there are people who can tolerate smoking, there are others who can't. So we're saying absolutely no smoking will be done at the shelters. We are trying to make that very, very clear so that people understand. We don't have what we call an equipment to measure noise, but we're saying that we will be very strict on the noise. The noise level has to be as low as possible, because we must be mindful that there are some elderlies who can't take too much noise and anxiety, and already people have anxiety. So we have to ensure that our noise level will be very much lowered in that regard. We want to, of course, outline the importance of each other being each other's keeper at the shelter, and that is what we need to at this time. We have to be each other's keeper. We should be able, in the spirit of helping, of caring. We are a caring and helpful people in Dominica, and I think as we go through these times in the shelters, we should be able, and we need to assist and to help in other. Help your brother, help your sister. That is in fact very important. So we really want to call on people, and we want to extend that people should have already had their family plans and individual plans activated, because it's important that this family and individual plan is sort of streamlined into the shelter management plan, so to speak. So we are hoping that people who, if you have not done so, activating your plan. If you do not have a plan, you should have had a family plan, you should have had an individual plan. If you do not have one, you still have time to prepare one quickly. It's not very difficult work to do so, but we are really encouraging people to take it very seriously. Please do not wait last minute. As I end, do not wait last minute to go to the shelters. And when you go to the shelters, please come with something. And when you come to the shelter, just be nice, be cordial, be nice, and just help each other, because we are all in this together. It's one country, it's one people, and it's one accord. And we really want to call on the general public to be supportive and to do whatever you can to protect yourself, to protect your lives, and in that way we will all protect our beautiful Commonwealth of Dominica.